Finding bookshelves.
Welcome to Friday Night Party Line. I'm your host, Victor Frost, and it is July 31st, 2015. Here on the show today, we have Nelson. Hey, Nelson.
Hello.
How you doing over there in the York of New?
It is very warm out. I don't even have a joke. It's just like, it is warm as balls.
It's warm today, too. It's like 90 degrees, and it's like 60% humidity right now.
Oh, that's no.
Yeah, it's damp. That groan you heard was, of course, George. Hey, George.
Evening, folks.
How's things going over there for you?
It is also hot, but my car is running, so everything's good.
Hey, nice. Did you go autocrossing with it recently?
No, this is the gigantic boat car.
Ah, the boat car, yes.
Yeah, so I figured
What is that car again?
The Chevrolet Caprice.
Ah.
Yeah, my problem was the EGR valve. I got rid of it, and now it runs great.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And with us is Adam. Hey, Adam.
Good evening, gentlemen. How are you?
I'm doing okay, at least. I don't know. It's warm, but, you know, central air,
Warm.
So thank you, civilization.
My house goes down to 68 at night. It's beautiful.
I desperately want
It is
central air
so
someday.
nice. It is so nice when, like, you get it nice and cold at night.
I feel like
Yeah,
I'm in a
nice.
cave, man.
Yeah. Central air plus programmable thermostat is brilliance.
Oh. Yes, indeed. So which of you guys have made the jump to 10? George, have you leaped?
I have downloaded it, but
Aha.
I'm too busy to install it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take too long.
Well, actually, I might have time to do it this weekend, because previously my month was going to be occupied with converting the Caprice to fuel injection, but now that I got it to, run not crappy, I suddenly have a whole bunch of free weekends.
Hey!
So, maybe next week I'll have it. So, we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Nelson, I thought I heard you had the chirp of Cortana in the back over there before we started rolling. Have you made the jump to 10?
Yeah, so there's good news and bad news. The good news
Okay.
is I am on Windows 10, and I don't absolutely detest it. It is working pretty well. The bad news is that I'm starting to get a little weirded out by the fact that all of these robot assistants are ladies. And I think it says something about tech culture. Not something
I think
good.
Hold
I think
on.
it says exactly what science fiction has been saying all this time.
I know.
Hold on, though.
Dudes are the biggest nerds.
Here's the thing.
Yup.
In Germany, they have to have a male voice for all the GPSs because German men won't take direction from a woman.
Oh, Germany.
Humans, what are we going to do with you?
I don't know.
But no, it's pretty good. It's very black. It's like black on black. It's good.
Yeah.
Those are the
But
colors.
how do
That
you-
wallpaper, though.
How do
No,
you read
actually-
anything, man?
Here's a fun thing. I didn't know if this was in the previous Windows versions, but you can make wallpapers switch every few minutes. It
Yeah,
probably
you didn't
was
know that?
in the previous
Yeah.
versions, but
That was in 7.
oh, I didn't
That
know
was
about
in
that.
Vista.
Well, I downloaded
Yeah, that was in Vista.
some very large images, some oil paintings from an artist named Jakub Rosalski. Who does, you might remember him from sort of like pastoral Russian or Polish landscapes with peasants and stuff, and also mechs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're saying
Wait,
Max?
what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah,
Link,
pass
there'll
next.
be-
Wait a second.
I'll throw a link in the doobly-doo. It's
Yeah, there
good.
better damn well be a link in the doobly-doo because I want pictures of mechs in pastoral settings because mechs are awesome. I'll take a mech in any setting.
That was an excellent wait what moment on the show there. It was pastoral mech. Wait.
Russian pastoral setting mechs. What?
Are they like
Adam,
Escaflowne mechs or like Gundam mechs?
No, like Soviet mecha. Sort of like Robo-Turkey mech warrior-y.
Didn't Derek have some big thing about the Jaegers from Pacific Rim? Some big thing he did, and the Russian mech. I don't know. I'm vaguely remembering something about that.
They're pretty good. They're very like railroad artillery style.
Ah.
Very. Right, we need to introduce Adam because we need to talk more about these mechs. These are awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, Adam. Adam, did you install Windows 10?
I am a late adopter of just about everything, so I have not installed it yet. I'm waiting for reviews like yours, people telling me that it's safe and it's not going to completely jack up my computer and make me lose everything and have to start from scratch again. Because while I could fix it, I'd really rather not. And I'm sure,
let me say that on my laptop over there, sitting on the windowsill, the installation was quick, completely painless, and it only made my computer prettier on the inside. It's just a nicer thing. I don't even think I'm gonna do what Rim said and reinstall it with media. I don't think I'm even gonna bother doing that. It seems to run perfectly fine. I may have to do that on my desktop, but just because it's got a lot more cruft.
I'm going to do that with my desktop just because it's been like a year or so since I've done a clean install. It's time.
You do that
anybody I know,
yeah.
Anybody I know who's ever built a computer seems to have like a regular schedule at which point they reinstall Windows and reinstall all their programs and stuff. Meanwhile, nobody else does that.
Yeah.
You know what I do it? I do it when my computer stops working as fast as I want it to, and then I'm like, all right.
Exactly. No, that's exactly what's going on with my computer. It's like, it's mostly fine, but little.
Then you get the placebo effect of, oh yes, you install a Windows. It's so nice.
Let me screw it up by installing all the programs I like, and now it takes forever to start up again. Why did that happen? I wonder.
Where did all the room on my C drive go? All I did was install Photoshop and
Every time I have reformatted my computer, I have reinstalled less. So my computer has gotten incredibly lean. I basically only have, at this point, installed Chrome, Notepad++, Steam, and Origin.
How very fortunate for you that you do no artistic creative work, because I think Adam will hear my my woes about the size of the Adobe suite.
It is a big honking suite. Now I don't use the whole suite myself. I just use Photoshop on occasion, but I know that the entire suite has a lot of crap in it, and it takes a big chunk of space.
Yeah, I got Photoshop, After Effects, which is gigantic.
I don't want to wave around my gigantic Mac user superiority complex, but
says they're not superior.
Go on. Tell us about your locked hardware.
Pixelmator and Sketch are both very nice applications that do the things that Photoshop and Illustrator do, but without a lot of the cruft. And without a lot of the features, which is, to be fair, but I don't need all the features. We've actually switched our whole design team, at least for the most part, to using Sketch.
So what I basically heard you just say is, let me be happy because my software is different, and it's somehow superior because it's different and yet somehow also less capable than the industry standard.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, it's not less capable doing the things that I want to do with it. It just has fewer features.
It's a beautiful and unique snowflake.
Where's the GIMP user coming out to defend GIMP now?
Oh,
See, that
Has
is
its
less
place.
capable.
GIMP has its place. Its place
Yeah,
is like
in the trash can.
The
we
Marianas
have-
Trench.
if you need a relatively good photo editing software or image editing software, and you need something in a pinch, and you don't have money, it is a perfectly valid solution, especially for things like schools. And that's the reason I was suggesting a while ago. Somebody asked, like, I need some good editing software that's free, and I was like, GIMP, and they went, oh, not GIMP, and I was like, but
How about
You
GIMP
specified
Shop?
free.
I haven't tried
There's
GIMP,
GIMP
Shop.
Shop.
I haven't tried that.
I've tried GIMP, GIMP Shop, and Paint.net, and of the three, Paint.net.
Really?
Yeah.
Paint.net's free too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another option I've run into when looking for software for my school before. We need software to edit images, but we can't afford to pay $1 bazillion a year like Adobe wants. You know, and so
See,
there's no
I just save a ton of money by having no artistic ability.
Oh man,
Yeah,
if only I thought of that.
It's way cheaper.
Says the man currently sitting in front of a giant drawing desk with all of its various accoutrements on it.
What
Yeah,
drawing?
I'm even working. This is what I'm currently working on. This is actually a gift that I'm working on for someone.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, oil pastel. But yeah,
Ah.
visual gags audio show again. Every time I'm on, we seem to do that. It's
Hold on.
but it's actually for the teacher who helped me get the job that I'm currently at.
Hold up
Oh,
again.
hold it up again. All right, here we go.
Yeah. And
Beautiful.
voila!
It made a noise. But that's
Because
gonna
I
be that once I finish it, it's not quite done yet, but it's actually a gift for the teacher that helped me get the job I'm starting or started yesterday.
Do
that I'm
kids
very
really know where that sound came from?
I don't think they do.
It's the sound your mobile makes when you take a picture. I actually had an incident where I had there was a film container, a little black, the black and gray ones. There's a little black and gray film container in one of my junk piles, and it actually had a roll of film in it that was for a million years. It was 1,000,000 years old, and whatever it was dead. And I actually had a student hold it up and say, "What is this?" And I looked at him, and I was like, "I just died a little inside." That you didn't know what that was. I was like, and there were like 4 kids in the classroom. They were all like 12. I said, "Does anybody know what that is?" And one of the kids was like, "That's film, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, thank you." But for a second there, I was like, "Really? You don't know what film is?" Because I mean, that's a word that gets used, like film. Like, I'm going to film this. Well, what do you think that word came from?
Where does it come from?
Anyhow, I weep for the youth of today, which is why I'm a teacher.
I've been actually having some interaction with old technology myself. Not quite in the same way, but I got some lens adapters for my camera, so I can start picking up some Canon lenses for my Samsung camera.
Ooh,
Gonna be nice. Yeah.
That's something I plan to do someday.
Giant telephoto lens, like it's like yay big.
Telephoto?
Yeah, a telephoto.
Telephoto?
George may have some problem knowing what a telephoto lens is, since he had problem with television. All right, well, we got to get to these topics eventually, so let's get to. Yeah.
All 3 of our listeners
I don't
are
want to keep disparaging kids. That sounds like more fun.
I don't know. All 5 of our listeners are going to be very irritated if we don't get the contents in.
Yeah, right. Actually, the weirdest thing, so the episode of Acceptable Vices went up, and like 400 people hit the link to download it, but only one person bothered to say, "Hey, the link's not working." So
great.
thank you, listener Graham, for putting that comment and letting us know, so that I could check the URL and find out the only reason it didn't work was because the F in the FNPL, in the directory in which the file is saved, was accidentally uppercase instead of lowercase, and subsequently did not
Wow.
work.
I love computers.
I know, right?
I liked them until that moment.
Yeah, speaking of and how
I like that I
finicky
make money
computers
from that.
can be, some experts recently came together, and most notably Elon Musk, Steve Wozniak, Stephen Hawking, and plus 1,000 others, came together and said in an open letter, basically, guys, can we not put AIs in charge of, war weapons? Can we just, not do that?
Let's not
What could
give
possibly
AI
go
fire
wrong?
control.
What could
Can we
possibly
not,
go wrong?
Can we not, put Skynet on the precipice?
I mean, they are some of the smartest guys in the world, so I'm going to agree with them on this one. I think that total AI control over a murder device is not a good idea.
Probably
Like,
bad idea.
I mean, as great as Windows 10 is, I'm sure that it's going to crash, which means that whatever you put in charge of whatever gun is going to crash and have a problem, and you don't want that.
It's not crashing that I'm worried about. It's
rampancy.
what happens when it has just an off day. Like sometimes I'll ask SQL Server to do something and it'll go off in the la la land, and I'm just
And it'll just kill someone.
what are you doing, SQL Server? And it's like, I'm looking for things. A lot of things are down here.
Well, even something as simple as, oh man, that F was capitalized. Capital F means murder.
Apparently.
Even if, well, the thing is, I also sort of agree with them, but I also know that, haha, fat chance, we're going to have killer robots.
We are totally going to do it.
Of
We
course
have a
we
gun.
are.
So, a related story, the Wi-Fi enabled automatically aiming weapon, I forgot what it's called.
Turret.
It's like
idea.
a marksman. It's like a marksman's
Oh
rifle.
yeah. The rifle. And if you're not aware of this, what it does is that instead, if you can use the special sights to tell the rifle what you want to shoot.
Mhm.
And if you pull the trigger, instead of firing the gun exactly when you pull the trigger, it waits until it's in line to actually hit the thing.
Yeah,
and it'll fire the bullet.
it calculates the trajectory and all that stuff. It's a okay idea, but the thing is, it has Wi-Fi.
Oh,
And
yeah.
because it has Wi-Fi and it is a computer, it can
idea.
obviously be hacked. And
Yep.
so people demonstrated this week that, yeah, we can totally hack this thing.
Oh,
This is
speaking
the
of hacking,
enabled scope thing.
Yeah.
did you see the thing with the Jeeps?
Yeah, exactly.
That was also terrifying.
So until we can figure out how to make computers not bad, then maybe we shouldn't make computers that are also killing people.
Yep.
But we should try to make computers not so bad.
Well, there are lots of things that we can program computers to do that would put, even today, human lives are in the hands of computers on a daily basis, be it in a hospital or whatever. But it's not a kill situation, it's a monitoring situation or a reporting situation. When we put computers, when an AI has to make those judgment calls, even those judgment calls have to be programmed in by a person, and not. I think it's there's a quote about war and planning, but all plans go to hell as soon as the war starts, or something like that. And I could just see I have this carefully programmed, carefully planned, sophisticated AI. We're going to test it. Oh, it's that one thing we didn't think of, and now it's just killing everybody rampantly.
There's a good adage about programming, and that's you spend 90% of your time on 10% of cases or something ridiculous like that. You spend all of your effort on corner cases for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Here's an interesting idea. Robot cars, right? Autonomous
That's
cars.
exactly where I wanted to go.
So everyone is at least hopefully aware of the trolley problem, right? Where there's a trolley coming and you have to save 10 people or one person, and you have to do you want to flip the switch or whatever to make the trolley hit the 10 people or the one person? And everyone's like, oh, obviously the one person because
10 people, it's more fun.
Oh, most people say one person. And then the question is, well, what if that one person is like, your mom? And everyone,
I gotta say this.
Pause, and it's a.
I gotta say this. We had to answer this question for an essay in one of my college classes, and I was like a dumb sophomore or whatever, and the question went down to, okay, so what if it's a random kid that's on that other track, versus save yourself or save the kid? I'm like, okay, well, I'm here on the track for the purpose of this argument, but that kid's just an idiot.
He deserved it.
Okay. And then the next question is like, well, what if it was your, relative, sibling, father, mother, well, just to provide examples. Like, well, if it's my brother, he knows better. So if he gets hit, I'm sorry. If it's my parents, what the hell are they doing there?
We're just crossing the street,
But so the kind of iterated trolley problem examines how people react to different levels of in-group identification, right? Because it's like, a stranger, a kid, your kid, etc. But what happens when an autonomous car encounters the trolley problem? And they can either hit a squirrel or hit a human. Those things, those rules are programmed in. We will program in do the least amount of harm, right? But there are some points where, both situations are non-ideal, and that's where humans kind of break down and can't decide, like, oh, do I want to, kill my mom to save myself? That kind of situation, right? But unless we program in-group, out-group identification, which, by the way, bad idea, because then the robots start killing us.
Well, then the robot doesn't want to hit the light pole because,
Exactly. But if we don't program them in, then it'll be a calculating, hey, what is the least amount of people I will kill for this?
But then even with the hacking problem you mentioned, right? This is very insidious, but let's say that you have somebody who's, I don't know, racist and a terrorist and a computer hacker, and they decide, you know what? I think that they should dodge squirrels and instead hit, I don't know, black people because I don't like black people. And suddenly you have murder trolleys, and that's no good at all.
And that's an even separate trolley problem.
And I mean, if you've never read, I know you guys probably have, but if anybody listening has not read Isaac Asimov's Robot series,
yes.
I Robot, which has nothing to do with the Will Smith movie that should not have been made.
But read that book. Hang on, that was a good movie. I liked that movie.
I agree with Adam. Victor, the robots are coming to kill you. Sorry.
But
it just has to happen. It's the least harm. let you die, or let that movie continue to exist. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's something I'm very into the idea of the robotic car. I think that in the long run, if done properly, that the robotic cars can have a lot of really good outcome. I think it'll reduce traffic and reduce traffic fatalities, and also allow me to sit back and snooze on a 4-hour trip, which is really the important part.
It absolutely will reduce traffic fatalities. There's no question.
Yep.
Yeah,
humans are terrible.
Yeah.
Humans, oh my god.
As they demonstrated with the Jeep thing, if they can't make the systems basically hacker-proof, or at least so complex that if somebody did hack one thing, it wouldn't result in a catastrophic shutdown of the device.
Adam, it doesn't need any of that. It doesn't need to be hacker-proof, and it doesn't need to be hyper-complex, because, again, when you get hyper-complexity, you get emergent behavior, and you get robot
chaos theory.
Just needs to not be on the internet.
Yeah, it just needs to learn the lessons from Battlestar Galactica. If you have a thing that talks to the outside and a thing that can kill people, don't network those things together. Keep them a little separate.
That is sort of my one little faith in the government, is that they will put the killing AI on the CIPRNet.
Maybe.
Please,
Hopefully.
please put it on the
Hopefully.
separate.
Alternatively, we could end up with maximum overdrive, which is a whole other kind of problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if
You
you
know,
guys
it just
know
galls
anything
me,
about
and-
like
and
the government's secret network, but there is actually a secret network, like
Well,
a
there's-
secret internet.
Well, there's Cybernet. There's
If you know about it, it's not a secret anymore.
No. I mean, it's classified secret.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's not that you can't know it exists. It's that information on that network is classified. Well, it actually can be any classification, but
Look,
that's where things
there-
that are secret and top secret live.
Mhm.
There's the civilian internet, and then
Yeah.
there's Milnet,
Yeah,
the
well,
military network.
it's not exactly the military per se, but it's
Government network.
where classified information can exist, and it is literally physically separate. It
Yeah.
is not
Yes.
connected. to
Okay,
the
so
internet.
there's Cybernet, which is secret. There's JWICS, which is top secret, and then there's NIPRNet, which is separate from the internet but is for non-secure communications.
Yeah, it's sort of connected, kinda.
Yeah.
All we need is that whole no touchy idea with
We can't
whoever runs the
even
cars.
We can't even get General Motors to not do the no touchy thing. That was the problem with the Jeep. They had the entertainment system getting touchy with that's connected to the internet,
Oh,
touching
computer?
the CAN bus on the Jeep.
Yep.
Well, here's the
Why?
problem, right? First of all, you should not have anything in your vehicle that, for entertainment purposes, is connected to the internet. Because if you're driving, you shouldn't be doing anything but frickin'
Well, no.
driving.
I disagree.
Hold on.
I
Humans are
think the
bad
opposite. You
drivers.
should be doing
Humans-
anything except driving because humans should not be allowed to drive.
Right. Well, putting that issue aside,
yes.
because it's
No,
not
no,
immediately
come
fixable.
on.
It's
Come
not
on.
an immediately fixable problem. But as much as I agree that, barring the robot, all right, you put a robot car in, that's fine. You can still have your entertainment system in the car. There's no reason it should be attached to anything but the battery.
Yep.
Right.
Well,
hang on.
You're talking
Attach it-
about
Streaming
attach it to a
radio,
battery, so it doesn't
satellite over cell, satellite whatchamacallit, god damn it, radio, satellite radio over IP. You have traffic data that
Victor,
comes in
whoa,
via
whoa,
the
whoa,
internet.
whoa.
You can get all that stuff.
Satellite radio? No. Autonomous, automatic, P2P, wireless file sharing for music and movies.
Someone at the RIA just had a heart
have you
attack.
been watching, Nelson, have you been watching 90s computer hacker movies?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
When have I not, though?
A decent question, but anyway, so this whole hooking up AIs, autonomous AIs to military equipment is bad.
Bad
So
idea.
bad.
It's bad, but they're gonna do it.
But
Of course
Is
they're
it-
gonna do it.
here's the thing: is it worse than what we have now? Because we get back to the car thing.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Humans are really bad at driving cars. Do you know how ludicrously unsecure our nuclear weapons are? In
That's-
this country,
Yeah.
not even
Yeah.
just Russia, like this country.
Yep.
There was a
It-
story on the news that was on while I was at the gym, and they were talking about like how many accidents they had with nuclear weapons, and it was astonishing.
Huh.
Like one apparently in the 60s, one just fell out of a B-52.
Yep. In South Carolina, was it?
Something like that, yeah.
It's like
So
World War III almost just started by accident.
Remember, in the movie War Games, the computer was not the bad guy. The humans tried to launch the nuke. The computer did not.
Right.
But didn't the computer
You want to play a game?
was? Oh God, I have to go back and watch that movie
Didn't the
again.
computer orders like the people to kill someone though?
Yes.
It happens.
Yes.
Why did they listen to it?
Relative harm. One person dies or you launch the nukes. No, that's a good point, though, because people are not great at like threat assessment and dealing with
Yeah.
stuff.
No, we're
not great
terrible at that.
Yeah.
Read about our missile command. It's kind of terrifying.
Unfortunately, there's no good segue out of that topic. So, last time on Friday Night Party Line, I feel like I'm like the opener of an early 2000s TV show. Last time.
Last time on Friday Night Party
Friday
Line.
Night Party Line. No, Cherba, don't push the button.
And then it's like the flashbacks on the West Wing. Hi, I'm like just all the characters' names. It's like, no, I didn't need to know that.
I wouldn't honestly. I wouldn't mind if Aaron Sorkin directed my life. It'd be pretty fun, I think.
Yeah, but there would be no
like walking
women.
and talking.
I know. I would get so much exercise from all the walking and talking because all of my conversations would be while walking. Anyway, so last time on Friday Night Party Line, we were talking about how the Girl Scouts of America basically got a donation from a bigot who said that the only way you can use that money is if it doesn't go to help transsexuals, and the Girl Scouts were like, "Fuck that shit!" Sent the money back. Started a Indiegogo campaign, which got something to the tune of $300,000, which was a lot. Let me actually get the.
It was a lot. This is true.
Girl Scouts Indiegogo.
You go, girls.
Yeah.
By the way, can I tell you how
Scouts.
much I'm entertained whenever some bigot or some hate group tries to get their shenanigans going online and like raises some minuscule amount of money, and then another group is like, "Hey, this hate group tried to raise this money. Let's show them what for," and they raise like $1 million immediately.
Yeah. So they returned the guy's $100,000. They returned the guy's $100,000 and instead ended up raising $338,000 in 1 month.
Amazing.
Amazing. So
Hopefully
they
Girl
went and
Scouts.
did that. Oh yeah. So they went and did that, and SCOJO, if I remember correctly, made the assertion that the Boy Scouts would finally have to vote yes on allowing gay leaders in the Boy Scouts. And sure enough, he was right. And for that, SCOJO gets a little gold star. Beep, gold star. He was absolutely right. And yes, they did indeed do that, much to the ire of the Mormon Church, saying it will probably leave its it will probably eliminate its support for the organization.
Good.
Oh, darn. Jeez.
You mean an organization you shouldn't have been part of in the first place? Gee, watch me cry. Now I might actually consider sending my child to a Boy Scout camp if they ever wanted to go.
But here is the rub. While the organization, from a top-down perspective, is saying, yeah, no, we should. There's no problem with allowing gays to be leaders. It's still letting the individual troops decide.
Don't the individual troops decide, who gets to be a leader anyway?
Yes, I think so.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, you're not really gonna ever be able to force that on anyone.
Well, except the individual troops previously could not allow a gay guy to do it.
The only possibility I see of something going wrong is that the tyranny of the majority issue, where you may have an area in some backwater redneck part of the country, you know who I'm talking about if you're there, where
many of the state capitals of at least half of our states.
Yes, but you're gonna have discrimination there. I'm a big fan of. I think that somebody else should have started a different Scouts, oh, we're calling this the American Scouts for young men, and then just accept anybody who was wanting to come in, or
Man Scouts.
You
want to join the Boy Scouts? Okay, we're gonna
Scouts.
Go camping with the Man Scouts.
Yeah, look at those Boy Scouts with their neckerchiefs and their stupid ass uniforms. Come on, jeans, t-shirts, let's go chop wood.
Yeah.
The Man Scouts.
Let's go chop woods and wrench on cars and mini bikes. Yeah.
Let's go shoot at things in the woods.
This sounds a lot like the America Scouts.
America Scouts.
What is that? Look, I chopped wood when I was a kid. I wrenched on my bike. Fun. Did
I
electrical
totally
work?
agree. Totally
What was
agree.
there to wrench on your bike?
I had
Wrench
a
is not
George.
bike.
George, George, you may not know this about me, but I have this impeccable habit of being hit by cars.
Don't do that.
I've been hit like 8 or 9 times at
need a
this
new hobby.
point.
Wow, that's pretty good. All right,
I've never been injured by it though. That's kind of that's kind
ready
of the
to
amazing
install
part.
Windows.
Oh, yay!
I don't know. This laptop is super good. I don't think this is going to go well.
I'm gonna say it, George. What could possibly go wrong?
Well, you're not giving the laptop.
How
permission to
hard
kill anyone,
could
right?
it be?
You said it. Yes.
It's
Now
gonna be really
everything
fun.
possible is gonna be.
If I was releasing Windows 10 and I was in there, I would be like Windows 10, and underneath it would have it say, "What could possibly go wrong?" Just have it say that when you upgraded, and then free people out. Be like, "Wait a minute, how serious were they?"
I'm sorry, I changed the
But it's kind
topic
of an
there.
inevitability that the Boy Scouts would have to do this, and
It's kind
you
of an
really
inevitability.
feel through their various press releases and their announcements that this is very much a look. We're doing this because we know we have to. We know everybody disagrees with the people who actually want to the people who want to keep it like the no gays in here, and society's changing. We don't like it, but we're gonna do it.
Mm.
And that's perfectly okay with me.
Yep.
It's the same thing with the people who said, "Well, if you're gonna make me marry gay people, I'm gonna resign," and everyone
Okay.
sort of went,
Who
"All
was
right,
making you
thanks,
marry
bye."
gay people?
It's
You
the
must have
people.
already-
You mean the judges and stuff. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
the
like,
judges.
who's
It's not just judges. Everyone has to marry gay people.
I was just like,
You
who's
don't have to
making
be married to gay people. That's the new rule. You're married or nothing.
You can pick your particular definition of gay, but
You can. Okay, to be fair, you can have a straight civil union, but it's really not the same.
right.
But yeah, I mean, I
Yes,
think
we're
that-
gonna drag society forward, whether it likes it or not, kicking it or screaming.
I'm okay with that. I think if we have to do kicking and screaming to make people realize, I like the fact that we can just call it marriage now. We don't have to
Yeah.
say married, gay marriage. We can just call it marriage, which I'm all for simplicity and also equality. And if there was some sort of actual argument of, oh well, if gay people get married, then this bad thing or this is not right somehow, or some other rights will get infringed on, there'd be an argument. The only argument that I've ever seen always boils down to, I'm Christian or religious, and gay people make me feel icky. And there's no other reason I've ever heard that doesn't boil down to, I think gay people are icky, and it's just
No,
too
it's
bad.
not even gay people are icky. It's butt sex.
True, because it's funny because I know some people who are like, oh, gay dudes, whatever. Oh, I don't like gay dudes, but I'm like, 2 chicks kissing, and they're like, yeah. And I was like, see now, hello, double standard. So it's like, and the only reason you like, I've said this to the person who I was discussing with, I said the only reason you like that is because in your little fantasy mind, there is the non-0% chance that you're going to get in on that action and have a menage a trois. And I can guarantee you, if you watched anything that had actual lesbians in it, not only would you be like, yeah, you know what, I'm not too into that because they're not actually doing things that I'd be interested in, but on top of that, there is exactly 0 chance of that ever happening because they don't like penis. This
Because
is like
they're lesbians.
a fact. Yes. If you're watching lesbian porn as a dude and you're like, oh, I could get it. No, it's never going to happen, even in your wildest fantasies, because you're a dude.
To be fair, if you're watching lesbian porn as a dude, it's probably not actual lesbian porn.
No.
I mean, I'm maybe
Unless you're really well-educated and you know what you're looking for.
At which point, I have to ask, you've put a lot of due diligence into finding a product that is specifically not for you. It's very.
I'm very
You've
curious
gone through all
now.
the lists of the studios.
You might as well
You've
just
gone
get-
through all the lists of the studios.
Yeah.
I'm
You just
very
go through all the
curious
lists of
now.
the studios and
Could
you
some
look
of
through
our
their
listeners
entire
find actual lesbian porn
filmography.
and put it in the comments for this episode? I
No,
would
bad
like
idea.
to see some.
Okay.
Bad idea.
So
Me
I'm
too.
gonna do a Nelson porn PSA.
Okay.
A really quick way to if you're watching porn and there's two ladies.
The odd thing is, this is not the first one.
Yeah, the really quick way to know if it's probably a good heuristic, which was our word of the day, to know if it's actual lesbian porn or fake lesbian porn is look at their fingernails. If they have long fingernails, that is not real lesbian porn.
I thought the simpler answer would be, if you're watching this and there's a woman next to you masturbating, it's probably lesbian porn.
Not necessarily.
Well, you would think that like a woman would be a lesbian, right? Like guys generally
if,
aren't.
If she's masturbating right next to you, there's more going on than just that.
True enough.
That
true enough.
was a
Giggity,
use
giggity.
of the word heuristic. Heuristic from the Greek root heuriskine, or moving on to the early 19th century word heuristic, meaning enabling a person to discover or learn something for themselves, or
about
a
themselves.
process or method.
Or a method
Anyhow.
for letting
One of my
McAfee
favorite
randomly
podcasts. One of my favorite podcasts is the Merriam-Webster's Word of the Day podcast.
Oh my god.
Nerd.
It's right there with Planet Money and the NPR hourly news summary and Freakonomics.
So anyhow, I think we all agree. Good move, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Good
Yes.
move. If you don't like it, too bad. Find a new country. I hear there are a lot of Middle Eastern countries that are hating on the gays. You can go there.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them, or maybe not, those countries in the Middle East also tend to hate on Christians pretty hard too.
Eh.
What can you do?
Anyhow,
Anywho, what do we
moving
got
forward.
Moving right along. We've
We have 3
got.
topics. What's the third topic?
The third topic is local police in Illinois rush the stage at a hip hop concert, shutting down the Hologram Hip Hop Performance.
Hello,
Okay.
Macross. How are you?
This is the one story I actually read, and this guy that was doing the hologram, they have like outstanding warrants on this guy.
Did they try to arrest the hologram? Is that what happened?
No.
I think they might have been initially.
Oh my god.
What the problem was, they were saying that, this guy, he's not allowed, he's got a warrant in the state that neighbors the state that the concert's going on in, and we're not going to let him skirt around the...
I thought it was like the neighboring county, like it's like he has an outstanding warrant in Chicago, and it's like next to Chicago.
Yeah, you're right. It's in Hammond, Indiana. No, it's in a different state.
Wait, Hammond,
Chicago's
Indiana?
in Illinois. Because Chicago's in Illinois.
I did not read this. I did not read this article, so I need someone to clarify something for me. Is this a case of they rushed to the stage to try and arrest a guy who wasn't there because he was a hologram, and this is like Hicks not understanding technology, or is this we're shutting it down because we can't allow him to perform in the state because he's wanted, and we're not going to let him like perform in another state, kind of thing?
No. It's the mayor of the police chief and the mayor of a town in a different state than the state that there's an arrest warrant of him in, bum rushing the stage to shut off the performance because reasons.
Oh yeah, that is Hammond, Indiana. Look at that.
Going on here.
There's not a very good.
Meanwhile, the guy was actually performing in a soundstage like maybe 20
Hold
minutes
on,
from
hold
me.
on. Hammond, Indiana is like a suburb of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Chicago's in Illinois.
States are just political boundaries imposed by
Hold
man.
on. Look at
These
this.
political boundaries have meanings on the
Look
jurisdictional
at
area
this.
of a warrant.
What is this bullshit? Look, there's literally a line right there that
Okay,
is Indiana.
So here's the deal. Here's what really happened. Ready?
That's some bullshit right there.
A rapper named
Ready.
Keith did a concert in Hammond, wherever
Chief.
the fuck. Chief Keith, like the Keith who is in charge,
Yes.
did a concert who in a hologrammatic capacity in Hammond. That concert was shut down, it seems, on the orders of Rahm Emanuel, the mayor of Chicago's office. Rahm Emanuel, by the way, is a notoriously corrupt Chicago mayor.
Yes.
Which makes me sad because
Former chief of staff to our president of the United
Yeah.
States.
And the reason given was that Chief Keef was, quote, an unacceptable role model whose music promotes violence, end quote.
now, while I agree
When
that
in
having
fact,
I have heard Chief Keef's music, right? This is probably I've heard his music because my students play his music, and I agree with what they said. His music is basically filth. It's the equivalent of picking up a half-eaten cheeseburger out of the garbage from McDonald's and choosing to eat that with it. Well, there's other food available. His music is that bad. He's not even good at rapping, in my opinion. I have heard many rappers who are way better than him.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, just because someone is a bad influence, you cannot shut them down.
You can't shut down a Slayer
Especially-
concert just because it's a Slayer concert.
Now, here is a really interesting angle to look at it. This was not a free concert. People went and paid money to go see this concert.
Stupid
Now,
people.
he was a unannounced performer, meaning that, it wasn't on the billing. People who went there and they got to see him perform. It was an unexpected surprise, but that being there added to the value of the ticket. Now, seeing as he was not physically in there and was in fact performing here in California, could a case be made that them shutting down that concert was interrupting interstate commerce and thus was a violation of the rules put forth by the?
I am not a lawyer, but a case may be able to be made on that count.
I would certainly make the case. It'd
I
certainly
would.
be worth it. Even if you don't win, it'd be like just to see the outcome of, hey, I wonder what's going to happen with this.
Here's
Yeah.
an interesting look into the minds of the police chief. This is a direct
I love
quote
this
from
quote.
him that will
I know the
explain. The quote will explain everything about what the whole situation is. So the police chief, when asked about Chief Keef, said that he has a, quote, a history that's anti-cop, pro-gang, and pro-drug use. He's been basically outlawed in Chicago, and we're not going to let you circumvent Mayor Emanuel by going next door, end quote.
Huh.
Think about that.
No,
about-
can't do that.
It's in 3 parts. Ready? The first part is he's basically anti-cop, pro-violence, and pro-drug use, which is the setup, right? To draw you into the greater culture war that's going on right now around police brutality and things like that. The second part is he has been basically, where is it? He's been basically outlawed in Chicago, which is saying that is an acceptable thing for police to do and for governments to do, outlawing art of, maybe shitty art, but still, art like that. And then, of course, the third part, which is we're not going to let you circumvent Mayor Emanuel by going next door, which is the kind of old boys club of obvious, ties.
I'm not going to
love
let you
this.
get around my boss.
Yeah. The thing is, he's not even the boss. He is the boss of the city next door. He is the Don that may control your territory, even though he does not legally own your territory.
Dawn. I like that term.
Come at me, Rahm Emanuel.
This seems to be a pretty clear-cut case of someone overextending their power. I mean, this is.
Oh yeah.
We saw this. Yeah. I'm not sure if I think we've talked about it on this show. I saw this years ago in Troy, actually, local to the Albany area, where there was an artist who made a video game in which the goal was to kill President Bush. And what he had done is he had taken a game that the entire point was to kill Saddam. Like, the game was called, like, Kill Saddam or something like that. And you had to, like, bad first-person shooter your way through waves of Iraqi soldiers to get to the final stage where you would snipe and kill Saddam Hussein. Mm-hmm. And he made this version where he reskinned it with American troops and President Bush. And the levels and everything else were the same as far as I can tell. But the reason he did it was to be like, why is it okay to do that to another foreign leader, no matter how bad they are? But if somebody does it to our foreign leader, all of a sudden you're going to shut down the museum that it's in? Because it's exactly what happened. A local Tea Party, good old boy jerk off was he found all these reasons to shut down the art exhibit, like the whole building, that had nothing to do with it. Oh well, suddenly you're out of fire code now. Oh, instead of just saying I don't like the art, because they know that he knew that wouldn't have flown. So he found like every other reason to do it, and it was obvious what was going on, and he got called out on it and got censured, I think, eventually. But it was such not a big enough deal was made of him doing that. But this is the same thing. Somebody didn't like what's going on. Like I said, I hate Chief Keef. His work sucks. But you're not allowed to just, I don't like it, so I'm going to shut it down.
I hate Chief Keef. I don't like what you have to say.
Fourth largest city in the United States. One of the largest cities. Mm-hmm. So you know what the next steps are. They're obvious if you have been paying attention to protest movements in Spain recently.
Yes, because we are totally up to date on that.
So what happened in Spain was the first quote-unquote holographic protest, where they basically projected videos of all of the protesters who would otherwise go to this rally that was declared illegal. They they kind of projected them, I believe, on a government building, I think.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And so the next steps, I think, would be put hologram Chief Keef on every single Chicago government building.
And again, I hate Chief Keef, and if he never performed anywhere again, I'd be like, that's fine.
Oh,
but
no sound.
Just to there we go, perfect. But just to make the crooked people very angry, I am all for taking some ridiculous step like projecting him onto their office while blasting the music after getting some kind of permit.
my brain already kind of just started figuring out a way to do it in a really fun way. They sell those really tiny projectors that are meant for businessmen on the go.
Mm-hmm.
Drone.
So, full disclaimer.
Full disclaimer.
None of us live in Chicago, and none of us are advocating that that anyone does this. And frankly, none of us can be bothered to.
I advocate that nobody do anything illegal.
Yeah,
that's what I'm advocating. Don't do anything illegal, but go ahead and piss off people. I'm okay with that.
Here's the thing: if you're gonna be a city that spent a lot of money being featured in a game about hacking, and doing like crazy futuristic things, maybe don't piss off people that do crazy futuristic things like hologram concerts.
Right now, there's one nerd in Chicago who's going, oh no, if they can do this to Chief Keef, what about my Hatsune Miku?
Exactly.
Oh man. Oh, I gotta tell you though, that concert was really good.
You sign autographs?
No, but I did keep my ticket. I do have it. It's pinned right to my my corkboard right over there for the Hatsune Miku concert at the Nokia Center.
I can't bring myself to go see that. I can't.
You know, you know,
I feel I will pass some level of nerdiness that I'm not comfortable with.
I
That
went and
is
saw it because I
totally
knew
the
that
truth.
at the very least I'd be able to say I went and saw a hologram. I went and saw a computer program do a concert in a huge filled stadium. That's why I went to go see it. I'm not the big Hatsune Miku.
But imagine if you went and there was only you there.
Oh
And,
no.
and the rest of the audience is holograms. Ooh, suddenly it's
You know what? If it was only me there, I'd get up on stage. I'm like, oh shit, look at all this tech. They got like 4 projectors. Shit, son. And I talked to the actual human band that was playing the music.
No, they're also holograms.
No, they were real. They were real.
Or were they really good holograms?
Everyone in the world is
No.
actually
Wait.
a hologram.
Yeah, what
It's-
if
Oh no,
you're just
stop
That
this
episode of
one.
Deep Space Nine.
And again, it's I like creative civil disobedience because as long as you keep it civil. So I like the idea of projecting the protesters. That's brilliant. I can't believe that they came up with that. But drone projecting, I mean, you could really mess with someone like that. Like, oh, he's on a building now. Oh, now he's someplace else. Oh, now we're moving
That's
around.
how drones got
Autonomous.
banned in Chicago.
autonomous drone projecting too.
And now they're AI military drones, but they
Yeah.
only have Chief Keef's music in it, so they're used to blast our enemies and just make them want to, shoot themselves because it's so irritating, the music.
You know, we did something like that in I think in Vietnam with giant loudspeakers on helicopters.
We did
Yep.
something like that in Ferguson too.
Yep.
Like, that's a common thing nowadays.
I do something like that on my bike.
That is
How
true.
much does a
You've got
Predator
more-
drone cost on eBay? Let me just find out. Wait,
Not
does it
enough.
have the range to
You
get to
can't
LA?
buy one on eBay. A Predator drone.
No, you just get them accidentally shipped to you by the Pentagon.
That's true.
Wait, did that happen?
Hey,
Yes!
Cortana, what's
Wait,
the
when did this
maximum
happen?
range of a Predator drone?
About a year or so ago. Some guy got a big ass wooden crate sent to him. He opened it up and oh shit, Predator drone.
Oh man,
That can't
I hate it when
be
that
right.
happens.
Ooh,
Oh, man.
That thing has a wingspan of like 20 feet or something, doesn't it?
No, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. Was it the? Yeah,
oh,
it was the
man.
body. It was the main body and the camera.
Victor,
What?
Victor, you're safe for now. A Predator drone's maximum range is only about 460 miles.
Only he
Oh.
says.
Okay.
What kind of fuel does it run on?
Gas?
The tears of the dead.
It uses a Rotax engine that it's propeller driven. Well, the original is propeller driven. A Rotax engine is an internal combustion engine made in Austria that uses airline fuel, I think.
Okay, jet fuel.
Jet fuel.
Kerosene.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The stuff that the military has lots of.
Yep.
That,
not
I think
helium.
If you try to
We're
order
gonna
one of
get rid
those,
We gotta save our helium stores.
I vaguely remember that story. I wonder what happened to those helium stores. Are they all
couldn't say for
balloons
certain.
now?
But it could have something to do with the sound of my voice.
All right. Well, anyways, this is a great show. We got into we got a little bit deeper into some topics than I expected, and a little bit shallower into some of them than I thought. But it's all good. It was a good show. I liked it, especially the creative civil disobedience. Yes, indeed, it was a good show. And in fact, there is one thing we need to do before I forget. plugs, because we've been forgetting to do those. Plugs.
Really?
Anybody got plugs? Plugs, plugs,
Plugs.
plugs.
What are plugs?
I have two video game plugs.
Okay.
The first one is the new Witcher game. That is also a plug. It's not reversible though.
Not yet.
I started playing the third Witcher game, and it actually has all of the women in it that I've met so far have been like real characters and not caricatures. So I'm very hopeful.
What?
I know. I'm very
So
hopeful.
you're saying it's terrible.
Pinup game has actual characters in it now?
I know.
I'm terrified of this concept of women who, you know.
I'm
are
really
people.
into it.
So here's my question. I played the first Witcher game years ago when it had been out for a little while. I think when The Witcher 2 came out, I played Witcher 1 to see, and the game's controls
Yeah, it was
were such a
awful.
turn-off
Yeah.
that I couldn't even try the second one because the second one I thought was too similar.
Yep,
So
The Witcher
did
3
they fix that
feels-
issue?
Yeah, it feels like a real game that is actually polished. It is. It actually feels good. Like the kinesthetics of the game feel like you're doing some witching. And all of the sides. So I really here's my backstory. So I really like RPGs, but I haven't sunk a lot of hours into an RPG since like the last Fallout came out, maybe. Because every other game I've played that is like, oh, we're a really big RPG, has been grindy shitfuck. Like Dragon Age was just give me 5 horse asses. You know, any
And don't ask
third
any
Mass
questions.
Effect was, hey, there are these guys that are really tall and just kill you. And there have been good bits, but every single RPG I've played in the last few years, I have stopped playing because they don't grab me. But the new Witcher game is actually grabbing me because all the little side quests and everything have stories, and they have like investigation, and you need to figure out why the well is haunted and who's doing it, and you know what kind of herbs do you need to gather to like make a potion that'll kill the thing. It's like I really like it. And so my second game is Rocket League, which is a game where you play soccer in rocket cars.
I will confirm that is in fact a very fun, low time investment game.
Yeah.
You can just like pick it up and put it down. It's really easy to stop playing, you know, and go back to it. There is unlocking of things, but the unlocking of things are entirely trivial and don't actually affect the game, which I also like. They're purely cosmetic. So that if you unlock a chassis, it's not like, oh, now I have the chassis that like blocks my whole goal so that the enemy team can't score. You know, it's thoughtfully done, and I also will back that game. It's very good. I have it for it's on PS4 and on PC, and I've heard rumors that it is cross-playable. I'm not sure how true that is.
I think it would be. I can't see any reason why it wouldn't be.
I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be either, especially with the way the technology works.
Yeah.
But I have not seen it done yet. I have not seen it confirmed yet that it works. So I'm waiting on that.
People who play
But
Grand
cautious
Theft Auto 5 on PC can't play with people who play Grand Theft Auto 5 on any other platform.
Mm-hmm.
Grand Theft Auto 5 has bugs.
Grand Theft Auto always has bugs.
That's part of what makes it good.
Yeah, it's good
Kinda
to
broken.
So I have 2 plugs. My first plug is going to be for Extra History. If you're familiar with the Extra Credits guys, which are they do podcasts and little webisodes that are really interesting about the nature of the gaming industry and how the gaming industry works, and a lot of topics that are critical to them and a lot of the ins and outs. But they also started this thing called Extra History, where they use their same style, but they will take a period of history and do several short episodes about it. They did the Japanese Warring States. They
Sengoku
did the
Jedi.
Rise and Fall of the Zulu Empire.
Sengoku Jedi.
Sengoku Jinkai. Yeah, that. They did that. And they made it really interesting to just listen and find out stuff and be more educated. And I'm not a big fan of history podcasts because they tend to be a little dry for my taste. But like this one is right up there in my mind with 12 Byzantine Emperors. It's that entertaining to be a part of and to listen to. So I'll plug them also. And I think they're funding themselves with Patreon. So if you like what they do and you want to see more episodes sooner, you throw some money their way, and they appreciate it and make things faster. But they do, I think, like 2 episodes a month or something like that. And they're doing Justinian and Theodora right now. So really interesting
I
stuff.
just finished it, actually.
Justinian.
Mm-hmm. They just finished it?
Yep.
Did you say? Ooh.
Yep.
I'll have to catch up. What is that music from, by the way? That music is from a game.
I know it's
I've
from a game. I
heard
don't
it.
know what game it's from.
It's making me crazy. I'll have to find out. But those are my 2 plugs.
That's the extra history. That's the extra history theme, by the way. You will hear it if you click the link. You had another plug too?
Oh yes, I had one other, which I thought I did too already. But the other one is going to be for the school system that I am working for. It's the Uncommon Schools Charter School. They use this method called Teach Like a Pro. If you've never heard of Teach Like a Pro, I highly suggest looking into it and finding out more about it. It's really interesting and a very, I think, going to be an effective teaching method. But it's too much to explain in a single episode or even a few minutes. But if you check out Teach Like a Champion, it's especially if you're into education or interested in that sort of thing, it is well worth it.
Cool. I will locate a link and put that in the show notes.
I'll do so.
George, did you have anything you wanted to plug? It seems like
I guess the only thing I'm going to plug is this game I've been playing off and on, Mini Metro. It takes like 5 minutes to play this game before you probably lose. 10 if you're really, really on the ball. It'll take 10 minutes to lose.
Is it possible to win?
It's possible to unlock other things, as far as I know. And I suppose at some point it will just you'll just do everything. But basically, if you're watching the Hangouts, you can see this. But it's a game where little metro stops just appear, and you pick a map, and this one is New York City, and you just metro stops appear, and you put little lines down, and you have to sort of figure out where these people want to go. Like, I've got way too many triangles on one line here, and that's probably going to cause me problems. And it's nifty, and it's fast, and I love it.
It is a low time investment game, by the way.
Yeah, it's a low time. There's the sort of initial learning of how do I actually do things. Pro tip. You just click on a station and you start dragging, and that's how you make things. It's super easy and it's fun.
Okay, well, I guess the only thing I have to plug is, being an audio engineer and a general audio guy, I love learning about how big movies do their sound design. And there's this wonderful company called the Soundworks Collection. And they Soundworks, and they put out behind the scenes of the sound design of big movies, things like Avengers: Age of Ultron, Godzilla, and Interstellar. You pick a big blockbuster, they've probably done a behind the scenes of how the sound design was done. I'm gonna link you guys to the a behind the scenes look at the sound design of Inside Out, Disney Pixar's latest movie. It's a really, 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 really good movie, and the behind the scenes is so
that movie
good
was
to look into.
That movie was so good.
It's such a good movie.
And I put in a second plug for See Inside Out if you haven't already. Because damn, that
Go
movie
see
was
that movie.
awesome.
If you haven't seen the movie, don't watch this. It will spoil things. You need to watch both of those things.
You really need to see this movie. It is vitally important to your existence as a human being.
Yep. And you'll get to see some of the cool things, like how they design the atmosphere, how they make the different sound effects used in the film match the atmosphere of the film, the rather etherealness that it has at times. So good. Check it out. Disney Pixar's Inside Out Behind the Scenes, brought to you by the Soundworks Collection. It's a fantastic little short video, about 10 minutes long, and you will be amazed. And then you'll watch more of the Soundworks Collection. It's really great. So that about wraps it up. We will see you guys next week on Acceptable Vices when we play Derek Chappelle's game, Danger Zone! And we'll see you guys next time on Acceptable Vices. Good night, everybody!
Good night.
Uh,
Night.